Imagine booking a hotel room in the heart of Los Angeles, hoping for a few days of adventure and relaxation. You explore the city, enjoy the energy, and expect nothing more than the usual travel memories. But instead, your name becomes linked to one of the strangest, most unsettling mysteries of the 21st century. In early 2013, a young student named Elisa Lam traveled alone from Canada to California. She was only 21 years old, bright, curious, and excited to see the world. But within weeks, her trip turned into a chilling story that would capture international headlines, spark endless internet theories, and leave investigators searching for answers that, even today, feel incomplete. At the center of this mystery lies a piece of footage that millions have watched online, grainy elevator security video that shows Elisa behaving in ways no one has fully explained. Was she hiding from someone? Experiencing something internal? Or perhaps caught in something much darker? This is the story of Elisa Lam, the Cecil Hotel, and a mystery that refuses to fade away. Elisa Lam was born in Vancouver, Canada, in 1991, to parents who had emigrated from Hong Kong. She grew up in a close-knit family and was described by friends as intelligent, thoughtful, and creative. Elisa kept a blog and frequently posted on Tumblr, where she wrote about her struggles, her thoughts, and her everyday life. One of the key things that made Elisa relatable to so many people online was her honesty. She openly shared her challenges with mental health, particularly bipolar disorder and depression. Despite those struggles, she was also ambitious and full of plans. Her dream was to travel, explore the world, and prove to herself that she could live independently. By early 2013, Elisa had enrolled in the University of British Columbia, but she decided to take a break and travel. She set her sights on the United States. Her journey would take her down the West Coast, from San Diego to Los. To understand the case, you also need to understand the location. Elisa checked into the Cecil Hotel, located on Main Street in downtown Los Angeles. At first glance, it seemed like just another budget-friendly option for travelers. But the Cecil Hotel had a long, unsettling history. Since opening in the 1920s, it had gained a reputation for crime, tragedy, and mysterious events. Over the decades, the building became associated with suicides, unexplained deaths, and even connections to infamous criminals. By the 2010s, the Cecil Hotel sat at the edge of Los Angeles' Skid Row, a neighborhood struggling with poverty, homelessness, and crime. For tourists who didn't know the city well, booking a room at the Cecil might have seemed like an affordable choice. But locals knew the building carried a dark legacy. Elisa checked in on January 26, 2013. She was initially placed in a shared room, but due to complaints from her roommates about what was described as odd behavior, hotel staff moved her to a private room. From there, her behavior, as witnessed by others, became more mysterious. Elisa was supposed to check out of the hotel on January 31st and continue her travels north to Santa Cruz. On that day, however, she never called her parents, something she did without fail each evening. Concerned, her parents immediately contacted the Los Angeles Police Department. Police launched a search. Flyers with her picture were distributed across the neighborhood. Detectives interviewed hotel staff and guests. Some reported seeing Elisa in the days leading up to her disappearance. The most striking lead came when investigators reviewed hotel surveillance footage. This video, later released to the public, became infamous. It shows Elisa inside an elevator, and her actions are puzzling. She enters the elevator and presses several buttons. But the elevator doesn't seem to move. She steps in and out, looking around as if checking for someone. At times, she hides in the corner, then suddenly steps out into the hallway, making hand gestures that appear unusual or erratic. Finally, she exits the frame, and the elevator doors close after what feels like an unusually long delay. The footage went viral. Millions of viewers around the world speculated about what it meant. Was Elisa hiding from someone following her? Was she experiencing a mental health episode? Or was there something paranormal at play? The video raised more questions than it answered. For nearly 3 weeks, no one knew where Elisa was. Guests at the Cecil Hotel began complaining about low water pressure, strange smells, and discolored water coming from their taps. On February 19, 2013, hotel maintenance staff went to inspect the rooftop water tanks. That's where they made the grim discovery. Elisa Lam's body was found inside one of the tanks. The tanks were large, heavy, and had secured lids. Accessing them wasn't simple. The rooftop itself was supposed to be restricted to staff, requiring locked doors or fire escapes to reach. This detail only deepened the mystery. How had Elisa gotten inside the tank? And why? The autopsy report eventually concluded that Elisa's death was accidental, caused by drowning. Toxicology tests showed traces of her prescription medication, consistent with her treatment for bipolar disorder. Importantly, no evidence of drugs or alcohol was found, nor were there signs of physical assault. For officials, the case closed with a tragic explanation. Elisa had likely experienced a severe episode related to her mental health and accidentally drowned. But for the public, the story was far from over. The strange elevator video, the restricted access to the rooftop, and the history of the Cecil Hotel fueled countless theories. One explanation was that Elisa's behavior in the elevator reflected a manic episode. Bipolar disorder can, in severe moments, cause disorganized thoughts or paranoia. If this was the case, her death might have been a tragic accident rather than foul play. Some viewers believed Elisa was being followed. Her gestures in the elevator, hiding, peeking out, pressing multiple buttons, suggested she was trying to escape someone. If that was true, who was it? And why was there no one visible in the footage? The Cecil Hotel's history added fuel to darker suspicions. Some speculated that the hotel knew more than it admitted, or that a crime occurred on the premises and was disguised as an accident. Online communities went further, connecting Elisa's case to supernatural forces, ghosts, or curses tied to the hotel's troubled past. While not grounded in evidence, these theories gained traction because of the eerie elevator video. Elisa Lam's story became a cultural phenomenon. Documentaries, YouTube videos, podcasts, and online forums dissected every detail. Her Tumblr posts were read like diary entries, with people searching for hidden meanings. The Cecil Hotel itself faced heavy scrutiny. Eventually, it rebranded and underwent renovations, trying to shed its dark reputation. Yet the name remains linked forever to the mystery of Elisa Lam. The case also sparked broader conversations about mental health. Many argued that the focus should not only be on the sensational mystery, but also on the very real struggles Elisa faced. Her openness about her condition resonated with people who saw parts of themselves in her story. To this day, the death of Elisa Lam remains one of the most puzzling modern mysteries. Officially, it was ruled an accident. But for millions of people, the questions remain unanswered. Why did the elevator behave so strangely? How did Elisa reach the rooftop tanks? And what exactly happened in her final moments? Perhaps the truth is simpler than the theories suggest. Or perhaps it is something we may never fully understand. What's certain is this: Elisa Lam's story is more than a viral mystery. It is a reminder of the fragile line between adventure and tragedy, the impact of mental health, and the way the internet can transform a single event into a global puzzle. So now we ask you, what do you believe happened to Elisa Lam? To this day, the death of Elisa Lam remains one of the most puzzling modern mysteries. Officially, it was ruled an accident. But for millions of people, the questions remain unanswered. Why did the elevator behave so strangely? How did Elisa reach the rooftop tanks? And what exactly happened in her final moments? Perhaps the truth is simpler than the theories suggest. Or perhaps it is something we may never fully understand. What's certain is this: Elisa Lam's story is more than a viral mystery. It is a reminder of the fragile line between adventure and tragedy, the impact of mental health, and the way the internet can transform a single event into a global puzzle. So now we ask you, what do you believe happened to Elisa Lam?